This video is brought to you by Squarespace, the quick and easy way to create your digital presence or start an online business. This here actually looks like a really nice spot, but despite having a nice beach, the wind is going onto it, so it's not a really good spot for me to camp. So we'll go and keep looking, I think. There's another beach around this side here, but there's a lot of rocks and yeah, I think this swell, see the waves coming through here, the swell's gonna be bad at night, so this isn't our spot either. The forecast today was for 10 knots and it's well over 15 now. All the places I've gone to so far, just too rough. I might have to go into a bay somewhere. I'm just gonna check this spot out here. The wind is going kind of that way. So that spot is no good as well. It's too shallow, the tide's still gonna go down, I'll get stuck there. Looks like I'm gonna have to go into a big bay, I think. And bonus for today is my electric motor's not working again. Yeah, anyway, we'll see what happens. Okay, I think this is the place we'll stay. I have camped here before and it's a really cool spot. We'll set up camp and then I'm going to go and forage some lunch. Should be pretty easy. There we go, camp is set up. Let's go get some lunch. It's right over there. So we are in a bit of a sheltered bay and I actually wanted to go out and do some island hopping for this episode, but you can see it's actually blowing over 15 knots here and out wide it's much worse. This is pretty much what I'll be using to get lunch. If you know what this is, you know I'm going to go get some oysters. There's not many oysters along here, like you can have a look, there's a couple of little ones, very, very tiny. But I'm pretty sure if we go around the corner here, there'll be some nice big oysters. I know quite a few people will be wondering why I'm carrying the cooking gear to where the oysters are. The law is that you have to eat them on the spot. So I'm gonna cook them right where I find them. And look at that. 3 oysters right here. We'll leave that one, but I reckon we'll take that one and that one if we can. Cool. And that's where they all are, all through here. Just get them in the back of the hinge here and I think I need a bigger rock. I just broke that one in half and she should pop straight out. There we go, not a bad size oyster. I'll get at least a dozen of those, maybe more. There we go, beautiful. Just going to put them in my pan for the moment. And we'll get this one here as well. Here we have some more oysters. There's a reasonable one there, it's a small one here. That's a good one, we'll take that one. That one's a nice one. And, oh yeah, there's another nice one here. There we go, that one popped off real easy. There we go, beautiful. There we are, I have 16 oysters. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Let's cook them up. Woohoo! Just gonna find a nice shady spot. This is a good spot because I get enough sun as it is. A little bit of wind here, but that's all right. Hopefully it'll work. Not a bad spot to have lunch, is it? I am gonna cheat a little bit. I've got some soy sauce and some bacon. So we're gonna make my version of, yeah, very poor man's Oyster Kilpatrick. And check this out. That is hairy clam. We're not gonna eat him, but yeah, just sitting there right next to dinner or lunch. Cool. I'm just gonna chop up 2 pieces of bacon, and this is a dead mangrove, so that'll work out quite well. Just a bit of a rough chop. A little gas stove like this is just indispensable. It's yeah, so handy to have and very light. I reckon we should be able to cook this up in about, I don't know, a minute. Okay, whack that bacon in straight away. One reason to put the bacon in is I want to get the fat out of it, and then the oysters will cook better. But I also like the taste of bacon. After about 30 seconds, that bacon's got a nice bit of colour on it. Let's whack in the oysters. Oh yeah. And check out where I am. I'm literally in the middle of like the mangroves here. It's cool, I do have the view, but I do like the shade when I'm cooking. Okay, most of the moisture's disappeared, the oysters are cooked, the bacon's cooked, and what we'll do is just a little splash of soy sauce. Now normally that's supposed to be a Worcestershire sauce, but I didn't have any, so this is an experiment. I like to experiment. Alright, they're ready. I tell you what, it actually smells really good. Let's try a nice oyster first. Bit of bacon. It's actually quite salty, but very nice. Yeah, very salty, very nice. Little burnt bits of bacon. Not burnt, well done bits of bacon. And that really wholesome meaty oyster taste as well. We're going to try and catch a fish this afternoon. My electric motor isn't working again. I've replaced the remote control and the main board. Oh no! Something's not right. So it was working one episode, but now it's not working. Anyway, it's a little bit windy, so I'm going to hope for a cod. If anyone knows me, I can catch cod anywhere. So this time I'm hoping for a legal size cod because I want to barbecue it up for dinner. It is very tasty. And all around me here, there's actually bits of food. Like, have a look at this guy. That's a little live snail. There's crabs under almost everything you pick up. There'll be mangrove worms. Definitely mud lobsters in here as well. This is good. The fatty bits of bacon, they're actually the best. Not bad for lunch on the go. Before I head back to the boat, I'm just gonna have a poke around the mangroves here, just to see what I can see. I do this is part of my exploring, just checking out different locations to see if this could be something interesting. Lots of little snails. There is quite a few. This is a mud lobster hole. That's how they look. And then this here is, I believe, black coral. Yes, that is black coral that's been washed up on the beach. Now, it's illegal to take any coral from the beach. You're allowed to take, I think, 5 shells per person per day, but coral around here is illegal. So black coral, bye-bye. And we'll head back to the boat. Hopefully it's not stuck. The tide actually has been going out. So yeah, hopefully I haven't put myself into a bit of a problem here. I think when we go fishing, we'll go on the other side of the bay here, because you can see here the water is just chocolate coloured, and I'm not going to be able to catch too many fish in that. So hopefully the other side, where the wind's coming from, should be better. Okay, we should be able to see the boat. Oh no, I'm stuck. Oh, I'm stranded. I'm going to see if I can push it in from there, but yeah, looks like a bit of a challenge. Okay, she's high and dry. The good news is, well, the bad news is the boat's stuck. The good news is the tide should be turning, well, it should have turned already, I thought. So anyway, I'm going to try and push it off a little bit, but there is not much water underneath that boat at all. Yeah, look at that, dry as. So while we wait, let's have a look at what's happening around the place. We've got little groovy snail here. There's a little groover. There's another snail. And no, that's an empty pippy. Let's have a look what else we can find. Oh, check this out. When you see a little round thing like this, when you stick your finger under it, it's usually a sand dollar. There you go. That's what we call a sand dollar. They're actually a very flat starfish. And if I could get that clean enough, you can see the little lines of where the legs used to be. They've got little microscopic legs, you can see right around the outside. But yeah, sand dollar or little starfish. Okay, there you go. While I wait for the tide to reach my boat, I thought I'd finish setting up camp. I told you about these tables before. They're just so handy, having a little table wherever you go. Keeps everything off the floor, and these actually live in my boat, so they're quite hardy, and they've lasted a couple of years now, which is really cool. The thing is, when I got here, I didn't look at the tide chart properly, and we've been stuck here for over 2.5 hours. I misjudged the tide by an hour, which means if it's going down, you get to stay here at least 2, maybe 2.5 hours. So it's finally coming in, and we'll go for a fish on the other side. It's yeah, at least 4 o'clock now, and yeah, hopefully we'll get a fish before it's too dark. Quite often things don't go as planned, and having the boat stuck on the sand, well, it just lets me have a rest. Hopefully the wind will calm down as the sun goes down a little bit. I should be able to go fishing in about half hour, 40 minutes. That's my guesstimate. And yeah, I'm really hoping for a barbecued cod. Here's me wishing for a cod. Stranger things have happened. Can't believe it's 4:30 in the afternoon and this is the first cast of the trip. That is just wrong. Oh, it took me another half an hour of pushing the boat into the water. That could have been a tap. Oh, sun's going behind some clouds, but we've got a couple of hours of daylight, so I'm very sure. Actually, I'm not sure at all. I'll definitely catch fish, but whether they're going to be legal fish, I don't know, and whether we've got enough time or not. You'll notice the electric's out of the water because it doesn't work. So I don't know, I'm hoping it's a flat battery in the brand new remote control. I've used it twice, but it's just not working today. So I've got the motor idling and I'm just drifting along the shore. Nice big rocks up here. Oh yeah, right through them. Go nice and slow. Bit of twitchy, twitchy. Oh, got him, got him, got him. Oh, it's got a bit of power. I think it's a cod. Oh, this could be it. First hook up. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Orange spot cod. He could be long enough. Woo! Let's get him in and see how big he is. Oh, I think that's dinner. How's that? First fish and we got dinner. Woohoo! Oh, let's measure him. There we go. Orange spot cod. And I think he is probably legal. Let's have a look. That would be so cool. Let's see. Tail is on the 0 and he is 40. Exactly 40 centimeters. He's a little on the skinny side, but it's only me, so I'm okay with that. That is cool. First fish at like 4:45. All right, I'm gonna have a little bit more of a fish along here, but we'll definitely head back soon to cook him up. I'll just cut his throat right in there. There we go. And let him bleed out. That's the lure that did it, a Bagley, gold and black. Let's see if we can get something else along here. It looks good because we've got a lot of structure out of the water, which means there's usually structure in the water. And just fishing it nice and slow. That guy actually, he hit and then sat there. And then, yeah, I felt him and gave him a whack and then he took off. How cool was that? It's only been 15 minutes and we've got dinner already. Sometimes you think, yeah, I've got to get something. Other times you're like, oh, maybe. This time we got one. So I'm happy with that. Looks like a lot of weed under the boat here. Bit of rubble as well. You can see patchy rocks through here. And I'm just slowly bumping that lure right through all the structure. Got him, yes! Oh, what is it? Cod, I think. Yeah, oh, black spot, I think, this time. Oh, he hit me right next to that rock there. Woo! He's not bad. Let's get him in and have a look. Yeah, oh, he's probably a centimetre or two bigger than the last one. Very cool, hey? Black spot cod. There we go. He is, yeah, nice fish. Good 41, 42 centimetres. But we'll let him go. Oh, we've already got one. Don't need two. There's a spot on the left there I should try too. You can just see it under the water there. There will be a fish there, I reckon. Just has that look about it. Oh, got him, yes! Oh, feels like another cod. Oh no, yep, it's a cod. This time that's 3 different cod species and 3 different fish. Look at that. That is a honeycomb or long-finned cod. Nice one. Called it. Got some nice rocks here, and I think this will be the last spot that I fish before we go back to camp. It's getting a little late, and I gotta cook the fish. Got yes, big flathead. Actually, no, little flathead. You're not that big at all. Come on in. There he is. He's a bit over 40. Well, let him go. Up, off you go. There he is. Before I prepare the fish, I'll just show you the anchor setup. You saw me drop the anchor out there. It's the sand anchor's way out there. Comes back and I've got a second line coming here and I've buried this anchor here. Now I'm not using a bungee system because my plan is not to go to the boat tonight. I want it to stay nice and far out so that it's floating first thing in the morning. First thing, just give it a good scale, get all the scales off it. I've got the scales off in both sides, and then what we're going to do is just gut him. We'll keep the fish whole for this recipe, but we don't need to have the guts in him. And when the gills come out, all the intestines generally comes with it. And you can tell the tide's coming in because we started, it was dry, and it only takes 5 minutes to do this, and we're underwater almost. There we go, there's the guts and the gills. Feed that to the fish and the crabs, and then we've just got his swim bladder. That's the white thing here. Now one last thing I want to do is I want the flavour to go all through the meat on this fish, so I'm going to cut into his back. And I'm not cutting all the way through, I'm just basically splitting him open. Like so. There we go. I've got the charcoal starter going. That's going to take at least 15 or 20 minutes. So what I think I'll do is I'll have a shower. The sun's actually just hitting these clouds really nicely, and it's a nice temperature. It's not too hot, it's a little windy. Hopefully in the morning it'll drop down a little bit. I always feel a bit more human after I have a nice shower. That is so good. The sun heated it up a little bit, but because it was I only used like 3 litres to have a shower, so it wasn't super hot. Let me tell you a little more about Squarespace. They basically provide an online service for you to build a website or an online presence. They have many templates, some of which are almost ready to go. You just need to replace their text with your text, your images, or you can use stock images. It's actually really easy to use Squarespace. I've had an online presence since the year 2000. That's 21 years ago, wow. I'm the sort of person that always likes to build my own websites and learn all the skills. And I can tell you from experience, Squarespace is one of the easiest, if not the easiest place to build a website. Click, drag, paste. I haven't had to use any coding, and my website is coming together really well. One of the best things is you get a 14-day free trial. You can build your website, create whatever you want, and do it for free. And if you don't like it, you don't have to pay for it. If you create a website and decide to go live, you can get 10% discount by clicking the link in the description below. At the time of purchase, use my special code to get that 10% off. Despite being quite late, hopefully that light works quite well. Just going to chop up some little onions. I have no idea how it gets so late so quickly all the time. It was like 5 o'clock just before, and now it's dark. And we'll also chop up 3 cloves of garlic. We want to do these nice and fine. And that wind hasn't dropped off. It's still quite windy out there. The boat's holding okay. I had to check it a couple of times. If you saw the episode where I caught 2 squid at the last minute, this is actually what I was going to do on that trip. This time I've spared no expense. We've got a potato and a piece of corn. We're just going to wrap those in aluminium foil. I'm not a fan of the shopping centres taking all the husk off the corn, because I like to cook with it, so I'm just going to relocate it a little bit so it's fully covered in the husk, and then we wrap it up in the foil. We'll just make a little tiny bit of coals here, and we'll throw the potato on now whilst we get the fish ready to cook. I've actually decided to cut the cod's head off now because it'll just take longer to cook. Nothing goes to waste. I'll throw that in the water and the crabs can have that. And we'll cut the tail off as well. There we go. That's a nice size edible chunk. Now we'll open him up and we'll load him up with the onions and garlic. Now some of you are probably thinking, where's the chili? But I did chili last time. I did chili mud crab last time. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. It's really delicious. Here's a banana leaf I got from home. We'll cut it here. I probably did this a little bit wrong. I'll just lift that off there for a second and put down some aluminum foil. Get that back in here. Okay, that's gonna work. Then we're gonna get some coconut cream, and I don't want to put too much in this time. I put a fair bit in last time. We just want enough for a bit of flavour, and then we fold the whole fish back up with the leaf, like tuck the leaf over itself. We'll just scrunch the first layer up. There we go. This layer we'll put on top, like so. I think that's enough. Now I'm going to put this grill on upside down because it's quite windy and the heat is escaping a little bit. So we'll leave that a good 15 minutes or more. Because it is quite windy, I'm going to put a layer of foil over the whole barbecue. Check this guy out here. Our first visitor in camp. That's a katydid. Type of like grasshopper. Well, it's actually a katydid. Hey, come on. Oh, there he goes. And he's flying off. Actually, that reminds me. Let's put the corn on. Where it's not too hot. Oh, that feels good. Fish is cooking. I can finally sit down and relax. I don't know where the last 2 hours went. It was, sun was high, then it was down. It was just gone. It's actually a really pleasant night. There's cicadas chirping in the background. Can you hear them? You probably can't hear them over the ocean. The ocean's like lapping. There's a 3/4 moon. It's possibly gonna rain later on, but that's okay. My tent's all set up. The biggest thing for me is it's actually just a really nice temperature at the moment. I'm just gonna chill out here and yeah, wait for that fish to cook. I think I got a bit flustered today because the electric didn't work again. It should be working. I'm hoping it's the batteries. You'd think a brand new remote control, the batteries should be fine, but yeah, that's probably the first port of call. And I brought AA's, but I didn't bring AAA's. So I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm kind of hoping the wind will die down as well. Okay, let's have a look at the fish. It's been cooking for well over 20 minutes now. But can we put that up? We can. There's the corn. Now let's see the fish. Okay, there's our potato. Looks like we're having space food. Everything's coated in aluminium. Let's have a look at the potato first. He's been in the longest. Oh, he's looking alright. Yeah, he's nice and soft. That looks pretty good. Okay, let's have a look in the corn. Oh, that's looking delicious. A little bit of caramelizing on the end, but yeah, that is done to perfection. Look at that. Woo. We might attack this guy a little differently. We might go in on the top. Oh, there's the banana leaf. Oh, it's good the banana leaf's not burnt. The fish looks quite done. There we have our meal ready to eat. Those onions are actually cooked quite nicely, I think. Let's try, just try fish on its own with no onion. Just that bit there. Very nice. Quite a lot of onion flavour right in that stomach cavity there. Not getting too much of the coconut cream, to be honest. I might throw a bit on actually. Just put a bit on there. Yeah, I can't taste that coconut cream at all. Let's try that. That's very tropical now. Bit of potato. That's done very nicely as well. Let's try the corn. That actually smells very sweet and almost caramelized. A bit like the corn dogs at the fair. That is nice. Hopefully you guys can hear me over there. This is yeah, really quite nice. The wind hasn't died down. I was hoping it would. It was only forecast 10 to 15, but this is like a solid 15 from like mid-morning. I've been thinking I've been quite lucky with the weather. I can't remember the last time that rain actually bothered me on one of these trips. Sure, I get a little sprinkle here and there, but like getting fully saturated and losing gear and just hasn't happened. So feeling very lucky with that. And we'll see what yeah, tomorrow brings. Okay, it's time for Betty Boys. I've got to tell you guys, it's so much nicer sleeping on a tent on the land than it is on my noisy boat. It's 9:30 at night and I'm going to sleep. You guys don't know it, but I was up till 1:30 in the morning yesterday trying to get this camera to, I don't know, function properly. Then this morning I got up at 6, yeah, not a lot of sleep. I think I'll sleep well tonight. The boat's on 2 ropes. If anything happens, it'll just, yeah, end up on the beach here. That's the way the wind's going, so that's peace of mind. I can hear it banging every now and then, but I'm not too worried about it. Anyway guys, I'll see you in the morning, and hopefully this wind dies down a bit. If it doesn't, that could be a problem. Good morning everyone. Oh, the wind didn't stop till at least 2 or 3 in the morning. I've had a peek, I can see the boat, but it's going to be a rescue mission because the tide's coming in and it's a long way out. So I've got to go now. The anchor I put on shore, I didn't put in very far. There it is. That's a fair way out. So I'm going to have to grab the back anchor and pull it in. You can see there's a little bit of wind here already. So yeah, we'll pull the boat in, grab some breakfast and see if it's going to get any windier. I don't like the idea of walking out there, but I have to. The thing I'm worried about is not the sharks or crocodiles so much, but jellyfish and stingrays. The jellyfish I won't see, the stingrays I should be able to see unless they're buried. Now, where is this anchor? There's the rope. Oh, I think we're gonna, whoop, there goes something. Something just scooted off there. I think I'm gonna get wet. It's up to my knees already and we're not even halfway out. Nothing like a swim first thing in the morning. There's the anchor. Woohoo! Well, the chain anyway. Let's see if we can drag it in. Okay. So the tide is coming in. It's high tide at 9:30. So I can drag it in as far as I want. What was I worried about? Nothing. Nothing at all. While we're here, I'm going to show you guys something. These are bags that Drifter has made up. They've got my logo on them. Respect the beach, join the fight. Partner with Drifter, Andy's Fishing Wild Cook. So wherever I go from now on, I'm going to go and do a bit of a clean up. So before I make breakfast, I'm going to go and do a bit of a beach cleanup. And if you guys see me at like a boat ramp or in a parking lot or something like that, I'm going to have a few of these in my car, I think. And if you like being, you know, environmentally responsible and want to get in on the movement, join the fight, come and say hello, and yeah, I'll give you one of these bags and we can clean up the beaches together. So I'll just tell you a little story about how this came about. Luke from Drifter, he's been supporting my videos for quite a while, and he's been making Respect the Bush bags. And one day he says, well, do you want me to make up some bags with your logo on them? And I said, yeah, sure, but I don't really go in the bush that much. I do a little bit, but how about put some Respect the Beach, or, you know, clean the beaches sort of thing? And he says, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. So that's yeah, really quick story on how that came about. And wherever I go, I'm going to pick up the rubbish and make the world a better place. There's always some rubbish somewhere. I mean, this is a very enclosed sort of bay, but as you can tell, I've only just started and I've already got like 4 bits of rubbish already. Something else. And it's not just rubbish we find, it's actually quite interesting, all the other things you see. Like, have a look at that. That there, where is it? There's another piece. That is a blue swimmer crab. Now, he wasn't eaten by anybody because otherwise the claws would be all smashed. He looks like he just died, or eaten by a bird or something. That's cool. I think what we'll do is we'll head around the rocks there, because I think there's going to be more rubbish up that way. Tell you what, there's a lot of aluminium cans here, from beer to sports drinks. People just really don't care. I care, and that's why I'm cleaning it up. There's plastic, plastic, plastic. This is interesting. This is the end of the beach, and the tide's coming in. We're going to walk through water to get to the rocks, but that's okay. When we come back, we might have to go through there. Oh, is that a stingray? Oh, fish just shot out from here. Flathead, I think. Let's see what we can find over this way. Ah, hello. To the untrained eye, this might look like a bit of plastic. It's actually a turtle. I think it's a chest bone. Yeah, like in the front of their chest. Leave that here. Not allowed to take that. And then we've got what looks like cuttlefish shells. Yeah. Oh, they're nice big bit of rubbish here. Ah, look at that. Oh, and have a look at this. Here's the rest of the turtle. He was only a little fella. They're actually his rib bones. So, yeah, there you go. I don't know, something like that. Looks like so far the beer drinkers of the world are the biggest culprits. There's almost as many beer cans as there is crappy bits of plastic around the place. I think we've almost filled up our first bag. Look at that. And we've only been going, 15 minutes, maybe 20. Oh, here we go, there's a clue. If you think that animals aren't affected by plastic, have a look at this. There's 2 holes at the top and a few holes there, and a bit of a pinch mark. Some animal, possibly a crocodile, not sure. He's grabbed this and tried to eat it at some point. So animals will eat plastic because it looks like a little, a little white bird bobbing on the ocean. Turtles eat plastic bags and they actually die from that. That's probably, that could have been what happened to that turtle back there. And you'll notice, watch this. This plastic has been in the sun for probably a couple of years. It breaks down, but when it breaks down, it gets smaller and smaller particles. And what happens is, we eat the fish that eat the plastic, or we eat the fish that eat the plastic. So in the end, we're consuming the crap that we throw in the oceans or let go down our drains. And I think that's, it's probably going to cause a lot of people cancer in the future, because food has been found to contain pieces of this, brittle plastic. More beer cans. That's a very old beer can. He's gone broken in half. Ooh, here's a newer beer can. Look at this. This one's not even opened. Ooh, it's got something in it. Let's check it out. Looks like just water. Nah, just water. Anyway, beer cans. plastic. Oh, hello. Check this out. Oh, that's actually a really good condition Nautilus shell. Now for years I thought I wasn't allowed to take shells, but it turns out I'm allowed to take, I think, 5 shells per person per day. And this guy's coming home with me. That is a cool find. Found a fin just before, look at that. Someone went snorkeling and didn't make it home. Nah, they would have gone home. A lot of people buy flippers and fins and masks and snorkels. They use them once or twice, and then they just, I don't know, they either leave them or throw them away, and I think that's irresponsible as well. If you're going snorkeling, you hire some equipment. If you only do it once or twice, don't go and buy something because you have the money and then just throw it away because you don't need it anymore. It's yeah, you're just contributing to all the rubbish on the planet. Well, it's the end of the beach here. We're into the mangroves again, and we managed to get almost 2 full bags, it's almost full, of rubbish just from, well, let's see, oh, hard to see, I'd say 1 kilometre of walking. It's time for breakfast, and I think we'll have a little fish on the way home. Here's a thought that just occurred to me as I'm walking back. It actually makes you feel good to walk back where you came from, not seeing any rubbish, and knowing that you cleaned it up. That's actually a cool feeling. So yeah, wherever I go from now on, as long as I don't forget the bags, I'm going to clean up the beaches. Nothing like a 2 kilometre hike up the beach before breakfast. It's a nice day. Let's eat. So this morning we've got bacon, hash brown and 2 eggs. I'm just gonna let that cook away and pack up camp so that we can get going nice and early. High tide's at 9:30, it's probably about 8 now. So I want to get going before high tide. Okay, I flipped the eggs over because with the wind they weren't going to cook properly, so it looks like a bit of a dog's breakfast. And I'm just going to sit here in the shade, look at the view. Ah, whew, how nice. Nothing like a hearty breakfast in paradise. And you can see that line of debris there, the one above the water line. The high tide's actually coming another 10 or 15 centimeters higher than that. So yeah, it's almost high tide. Oh, I'll tell you what, breakfast is good to have. Let's go find some big GTs, or maybe some jigging. We'll see how the weather is. Goodbye beach, I'll see you again. Here's a nice headland, and we're just going to target the bommies, headlands, anywhere I think there's going to be a big GT. There's actually a nice patch of weed just over there. Floating weed. I've been casting for about an hour and a half and I've got nothing. I think it's a little bit too windy. It's definitely rough out there. You can see all the white caps around the corner, and that's where I've got to go. The trip didn't go exactly as planned. I wanted to go island hopping, but yeah, it was windy. The electric didn't work. It's gonna get windier today. It's yeah, quite rough already. So I'm gonna call it quits. It's not the episode I wanted, but we had a good time. So yeah, any day that you go camping is usually a good day, unless it causes torrential rain, and then it's quite miserable. But yeah, like I said, I've been lucky with the rain. Anyway, I'm gonna head home. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please subscribe and click the notification bell so you get notified of my new videos. I do them every week. I'd also like to say a big thank you to my Patreon supporters and people who've donated through PayPal. If you want to see more right now, click the links above. Catch you next time.